High above Whoville, on the snowy peak of Mount Crumpit, lived the Grinch. This isolated mountain was his chosen refuge, far from the joyful noise and bustling activity of the Whos in the valley below. He was a grumpy green creature with a heart 2 sizes too small. The Grinch hated Christmas with a passion that burned as cold as the icy winds that whipped around his mountain home. He despised the cheerful carols, the twinkling lights, and the joyous laughter that echoed from the valley below. Every decoration, every song, every burst of laughter was like a thorn in his side, a constant reminder of the happiness he could never understand. The mere thought of Christmas filled him with a bitter resentment, a feeling that had festered in his heart for far too long. It was a deep-seated bitterness that colored his every thought and action. The Grinch preferred his own company. He found solace in solitude, away from the noise and cheer of the Whos. His isolation was his shield, protecting him from the world he so despised. He spent his days in his dusty cave, surrounded by contraptions and gadgets. These were his creations, his distractions, the things that kept his mind occupied and his heart closed off from the world. His only companion was his faithful dog, Max, who endured the Grinch's bad temper with unwavering loyalty. Max was the one bright spot in the Grinch's otherwise dark and dreary existence. Year after year, the Grinch watched the Whos celebrate Christmas with growing disdain. Each year their celebrations seemed louder, their joy more pronounced, and his resentment deeper. Their happiness was an unwelcome intrusion into his self-imposed isolation. It was a stark contrast to his own misery, a reminder of what he lacked and what he could never have. The Grinch's heart felt heavy with bitterness. It was a weight he carried with him always, a burden that grew heavier with each passing Christmas. He couldn't understand the joy that the Whos found in the holiday season. It was a mystery to him, a puzzle he could never solve. Why were they so happy? What was it about Christmas that brought them such joy? What was the point of all the singing and feasting? To the Grinch, it all seemed pointless, a frivolous waste of time and energy. The Grinch was determined to find out and to put an end to the Whos' Christmas cheer once and for all. He couldn't stand another year of their happiness, and he was ready to take drastic measures to stop it. As the snow fell softly from the sky, blanketing the village in a serene white, and the Christmas spirit filled Whoville with joy and laughter, the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, devised a wicked plan. He decided to steal Christmas from the Whos, taking away their happiness and joy. He would take their presents, their decorations, and everything that made the holiday special. He even planned to steal their roast beast, the centerpiece of their festive feast, leaving them with nothing but disappointment and sorrow on Christmas morning. The Grinch worked tirelessly in his cluttered workshop, crafting a Santa suit and a sleigh for his unsuspecting dog Max, who would play the role of a reindeer. He gathered sacks for hauling away the stolen treasures, ensuring he left nothing behind. With each passing day, the Grinch's heart grew colder and more bitter, his resolve to ruin Christmas for the Whos becoming unshakable. Finally, Christmas Eve arrived, and the Grinch was ready. The Grinch, disguised as Santa Claus, complete with a red suit and hat, and a reluctant Max, disguised as a reindeer with a single antler tied to his head, made their way down to Whoville under the cover of night. The Grinch's heart pounded with a mixture of excitement and malice as he thought about the chaos he was about to cause. He approached the first unsuspecting house. Moving silently and swiftly, he was about to unleash his plan, ready to take everything that symbolized Christmas. He stood defiantly in front of the decorated house, smirking as he prepared to silence the cheerful Christmas spirit that he so despised. The Grinch's hatred for Christmas stemmed from a painful childhood experience. As a young Grinch, he had been teased and excluded by the other Whos during the holiday season. His attempts to join in the festivities were met with laughter and ridicule, leaving him feeling hurt and unwanted. The memory of that Christmas, etched deeply in his mind, filled him with a profound sense of loneliness and rejection. He had come to associate Christmas with pain and humiliation, feelings he couldn't bear to face. So he retreated to Mount Crumpit, vowing to forget the holiday and all the joy it represented. The Grinch carried the weight of this childhood trauma with him, allowing it to poison his heart and turn him against the Whos and their beloved Christmas traditions. He convinced himself that Christmas was a sham, a celebration of material possessions rather than genuine joy and goodwill. Unbeknownst to the Grinch, his plan to steal Christmas was about to be challenged by the purest of hearts. He had meticulously planned every detail, ensuring that no one would catch him in the act. But what he didn't anticipate was the power of innocence and kindness. Cindy Lou, who, a young and kind-hearted Who, awoke to the sound of the Grinch rummaging through her living room. She had always been a light sleeper, especially on Christmas Eve, filled with excitement and wonder. Her innocent eyes widened with curiosity rather than fear. She had never seen Santa Claus before, and in her heart, she believed that anyone in her home on Christmas Eve must be there for a good reason. Cindy Lou, mistaking the Grinch for Santa Claus, approached him with a warm smile and offered him a glass of water. She had been taught that kindness was the best gift one could give, and she wanted to share that with Santa. Her kindness and generosity caught the Grinch off guard. He had expected to be met with fear or anger, but instead he was faced with pure, unadulterated kindness. He was startled by her lack of fear, her willingness to show him kindness, even though he was in the midst of stealing her family's Christmas presents. It was a reaction he had never encountered before. Cindy Lou's innocent spirit began to chip away at the Grinch's hardened heart. Her smile was like a ray of sunshine piercing through the dark clouds of his bitterness. He had expected anger and fear, not kindness and compassion. This unexpected encounter made him pause and reflect on his actions. Her simple act of generosity planted a seed of doubt in his mind, making him question his motives and the bitterness he had harbored for so long. For the first time, he wondered if there was another way to find happiness, one that didn't involve taking it from others. As the night wore on and the Grinch continued his Christmas heist, Cindy Lou Who's kindness lingered in his thoughts. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was doing something wrong. The Whos, even when their presents were being stolen, showed him nothing but warmth and good cheer. The Grinch's heart, once filled with bitterness, began to soften. He witnessed the true spirit of Christmas in the Whos' generosity and forgiveness. They didn't need presents or decorations to experience the joy of the holiday season. It came from within their hearts. Standing on the edge of Mount Crumpit, his sleigh overflowing with stolen Christmas cheer, the Grinch had a change of heart. He realized that he had been wrong all along. Christmas wasn't about presents or feasts, but about love, compassion, and togetherness. The Grinch's transformation was complete. He decided to return all the stolen gifts to the Whos. He carefully packed the sleigh, his heart now overflowing with a newfound sense of purpose and joy. With a hearty laugh, he guided Max back down to Whoville. The Grinch's heart swelled with happiness as he returned each stolen item, his previous bitterness replaced by a genuine desire to spread Christmas cheer. He even carefully hung the Whos' Christmas lights, making sure each one twinkled brightly. As dawn approached, the Grinch had returned every last present, every strand of tinsel, and every roast beast. He had single-handedly saved Christmas, not by stealing it, but by embracing the true spirit of giving and generosity. The Whos awoke on Christmas morning to find their presents and decorations right where they had left them. They were overjoyed, their Christmas spirit undimmed by the Grinch's attempted theft. Little did they know, the Grinch himself was responsible for their Christmas miracle. The Grinch, his heart now 3 sizes larger, joined the Whos for their Christmas celebration. He was welcomed with open arms, his past transgressions forgiven and forgotten. For the first time in his life, the Grinch felt a sense of belonging, of being part of something bigger than himself. The Grinch experienced the joy of Christmas, not through receiving gifts, but through giving and sharing. He learned that true happiness came from opening one's heart to others and embracing the spirit of love and generosity that Christmas represented. The Grinch's transformation teaches us that the true meaning of Christmas lies not in material possessions, but in the love, compassion, and generosity we share with others. It is a time for forgiveness, for letting go of past hurts, and for opening our hearts to the magic of the season. Like the Grinch, we all have the capacity for change. We can choose to let go of our anger and bitterness, to forgive those who have wronged us, and to embrace the spirit of giving. Christmas offers us a chance to be better, to spread joy and kindness to those around us. The Grinch's story reminds us that it's never too late to change our ways. No matter how much our hearts may have shrunk, there is always the possibility for redemption and a chance to experience the true joy of Christmas. The story of the Grinch is a timeless tale that continues to resonate with audiences of all ages. It reminds us of the importance of kindness, forgiveness, and the true spirit of Christmas. The Grinch's transformation from a grumpy recluse to a generous soul serves as an inspiration to us all. As we celebrate Christmas, let us remember the lessons learned from the Grinch. Let us open our hearts to the spirit of giving, to the importance of forgiveness, and to the transformative power of love and compassion. May the Grinch's journey inspire us to embrace the true meaning of Christmas and to spread joy and kindness throughout the holiday season and beyond.